Mini episode 1170 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge Mini Episode 1170, the weekly FDH football preview show. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our college and non-college and fantasy and non-fantasy preview for Week 13 of the 2019 NFL season. We've got our college football playoff rankings, college and pro picks, and fantasy football recommendations. We start with our weekly rankings for the college football playoff. 1 Ohio State, 2 LSU, 3 Clemson, 4 Georgia. Our next four in are 5 Utah, 6 Oklahoma, 7 Minnesota, 8 Alabama. Our college football picks were 1 and 4 last week, putting us at 37, 34, and 1 on the season. Here's our picks this week. Ohio State -9 over Michigan. Minnesota +2 over Wisconsin. Alabama -3.5 over Auburn. Vanderbilt +22 over Tennessee. Notre Dame -16.5 over Stanford. Oregon -19.5 over Oregon State. Tennessee +17 over LSU. Florida -18 over Florida State. Oklahoma -13 over Oklahoma State. Iowa -5.5 over Nebraska. Washington State +7.5 over Washington. Georgia -28 over Georgia Tech. And Arizona State -13 over Arizona. Our NFL picks were 7 and 7 last week overall. 1 and 2 on the Big Three and 1 and 0 on the lock. We're 81, 94, and 2 overall, 12 and 24 on the Big Three and 3 and 9 on the locks. Here's our picks this week. Detroit +2.5 over Chicago. Dallas -6.5 over Buffalo. Green Bay -6.5 over the New York Giants. Washington +10 over Carolina. San Francisco +6 over Baltimore. Tennessee +2.5 over Indianapolis. Philadelphia -9.5 over Miami. Jacksonville -1 over Tampa Bay. Cleveland -2 over Pittsburgh. Oakland +9.5 over Kansas City. LA Chargers -2.5 over Denver. New England -3 over Houston. And Seattle -3 over Minnesota. For our Big Three, it's the New York Jets -3.5 over Cincinnati and the LA Rams -3 over Arizona. And in the 1,000-star gold-plated lock of the millennium for NFL Week 13, New Orleans -6.5 over Atlanta. Now for our fantasy football segment. Remember, we strongly discourage fantasy overmanaging. You don't pull your top guys unless they're hurt or on a bye, period. Don't let the matchups or everything geeks tell you anything different. Here's our list of guys that you go with as long as you're confident that they'll be playing. QB, Patrick Mahomes. Running back, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, David Johnson, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, and Michael Thomas. Tight ends, Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. As always, our Thursday NFL picks and fantasy plays are up on our Twitter account at the FDH Lounge. The bye weeks are now thankfully out of the way. Now here's our non-gimme picks for the week. We like 13 QBs. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Sam Darnold, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston. We like 16 running backs. Le'Veon Bell, Chris Carson, Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman, Melvin Gordon, Todd Gurley, Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsay, Sony Michel, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, Bo Scarborough, Devin Singletary, and Jonathan Williams. We like 18 wide receivers. Tyler Boyd, Marquise Brown, DJ Chark, Jamison Crowder, Stephon Diggs, Julian Edelman, Will Fuller, Michael Gallup, Chris Godwin, Kenny Golladay, Jarvis Landry, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Devontae Parker, Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson, and Robert Woods. And we like 6 tight ends. Mark Andrews, Jared Cook, Dallas Goddard, Hunter Henry, Greg Olson, and Darren Waller. Thank you for joining us for this week's FDH Football Preview Show.
As we bring the show to a close, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all Clear Channel affiliates, TNT, TBS, USA, UPN, Deadspin.com, YouTube.com, YTMND.com, MySpace.com, various blogs, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, IamBoard.com, Billboard.com, Google.com, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, NBA TV, NFL Network, Sports Time Ohio, Athlon Magazine, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, The Boomerang Channel, QVC, BET, The Spice Channel, Steno Notebooks, Manwich, Papermate Office Supplies, waitresses, strippers, bartenders, garbage men, janitors, microwave popcorn, the writers of The Office, Scrubs, Entourage, My Name is Earl, Oz, Metalocalypse and the Boondocks, Aquafina, and the Periodic Table of Elements.